On tonight's Words of Wisdom, we take a look at the thoughts of former South African President and anti-apartheid campaigner Nelson Mandela's thoughts on humanity and human rights.
To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. Nelson Mandela, former South African President.
Now today on the election stage, we take a look at some of the views that are expressed by politicians themselves on corruption and fraud carried out by politicians.
Today the Northwestern Province is the first in the country even when it comes to primary education. At the ordinary level and advanced level, we are in second place, a mere step behind the Western Province. But we have come to this position after being sixth some years ago. The person who calls me corrupt now was the minister then. Who is spending on the election campaign? People who sell drugs and marijuana. People who distill moonshine, people who engage in businesses that harm society. How can they spend so much? This is surely a business. What they are doing is making an investment. There's a plan where they look at their expenditure for the first quarter. Then they will make profits in the second and third quarters. When the next election comes around, they will look for another mountain of cash. This is the situation. How are they to find this money? Definitely through thievery. They need to skive off money allocated for roads, culverts and bridges. They need to take bribes. They need to issue bar permits and open bars. They need to get into prostitute enterprises. If we go touch some rotten potatoes, we are reprimanded for that. Even when we obtained testimony and arrested those responsible for rotten big onions, we were reprimanded. They reprimand us if we don't catch them. And when we don't catch them, they say we are taking commissions. When we catch them too, they say that we are taking commissions. I recently saw it reported in the media that we were taking commissions of potatoes and onions. I wish to responsibly state the President entrusted this ministry to them with the utmost faith. Johnston Fernando will not let that faith deteriorate. The people of this district made me first in the district within 35 days. For the first time in the history, the people of Kurunegala district handed such a victory to a person who had changed parties. People in the opposition are dealing blows to us. Now even some within the government are making statements.
The provincial council elections and the current political situation in the country were debated on the Saturday Political Debate program telecast on our sister channel Sirasa TV last night.
I beg your pardon. Let's take a look at some of the views that were expressed on last night's program.
Time and opportunity was given to the government, and opportunity was given to the provincial council. This time around, the people who gave the government that opportunity are saying, no, you are doing this wrong. We are going to make the change now.
If the UMP wins this election, it will cause victories at the future elections. Is that what you mean?
Definitely. We use that as a handbook.
It is your handbook. On page 23 it says 125 homes will be built in each village within 5 years. There are 258 Grama Niladhari divisions in the northwestern province. Multiply it by 25 and 53,950 homes should have been built by now. Is this practical?
එතකොට මේක ප්‍රායෝගිකද?
මෙහෙමනේ දැන් ගමක නිවාස හදන්න නැත්නම් එතකොට නිවාස අවශ්‍ය නැහැ.
ඒ කියන්නේ හදන්නේ නැහැ.
So, there are no homes to be built? The people of the northwest are watching. Tell the people that there are no homes to be built.
නෑ නිවාස හදන්න.
No, there are homes to be built. If homes are not needed in some Grama Niladhari divisions, then they are not built.
නිවාස හදන්න අවශ්‍ය නැත්නම්
ඒ කියන්නේ ඔබතුමා කියන්නේ
So you are trying to say the president has made an unnecessary statement?
නෑ නෑ අනවශ්‍ය නැහැ.
මේ මොහොතේ ජනතාවට ඉෂ්ට වෙන
There are several duties that must be carried out for the people at this moment. The Janata Vimukti Peramuna has come forward for this contest, submitting a national program to carry these out. We cannot see any attention being paid to the people's problems. They have a program to obtain votes and consolidate their power. In one hand, people are sick of elections. On the other hand, we can see a trend where the number of voters going to polling stations is reducing. We see this as a protest against the government.
ප්‍රමාණය අඩුවීමේ ප්‍රවණතාවයක් දක්නට ලැබෙනවා. අපි දකිනවා ඒකත් ආණ්ඩුවට දෙන විරෝධයේ ප්‍රකාශයට පත්වීමක් ලෙස.
ඇත්තටම ඔබ තමුන් වහන්සේලාට අවශ්‍ය සංවර්ධන අපේ මහින්ද චින්තන
The development you need is being provided through the Mahinda Chintanaya. We know what we are implementing within the province. We need to move forward in terms of education. We need to move forward in terms of agriculture. We need to move forward in terms of health. Our youth need to move forward. Our infrastructure needs further development. In the next 5 years, me and all 36 candidates of our alliance will get together and work to give you a progressive country.
ඔබ තමුන් වහන්සේලාට දියුණු රටක් අපි ගේන්න අපි මහන්සි වෙනවා.
Now, as we reported earlier tonight, Venerable Theripahas Siridhamma-thera, the chief incumbent of the Sri Sambuddha Jayanti Viharaya in Gal Oluwa Valley area, has recommenced a fast unto death campaign over the Rathapaswala water problem, citing the failure of authorities to provide clear solutions to the problem. Now, we've just received visuals from the area a short while ago. That's what you're witnessing on your screens right now. Our reporter says that the Thera is engaged in this hunger strike opposite the factory that is at the center of the controversy.
Finance ministers from the SAARC or South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation met with President Mahinda Rajapaksa today.
The annual meeting of SAARC finance ministers took place at Temple Trees this morning. The presidential media unit noted that discussions were held with regards to important matters relating to the common good of member countries and unique matters faced by certain member states. Meanwhile, the visiting foreign minister of New Zealand, Murray McCurley, met with the president yesterday. In these discussions, he said that New Zealand will provide their assistance in the development of dairy industry in Sri Lanka. During a previous visit, the minister discussed matters pertaining to the increase in production of liquid milk and the steps needed to be taken for the expansion of the dairy industry in Sri Lanka. He expressed New Zealand's willingness to expedite these plans and proposed that the two countries sign an MOU in this regard when Prime Minister John Key comes to Sri Lanka to attend the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in November. The presidential spokesperson and international media unit said that Macaulay affirmed New Zealand's continuous commitment to provide the highest quality of dairy products.
Now, moving on to more local news, the suspect who was arrested on charges of shooting an individual in Chawakatcheri has been remanded until the 12th of next month. The accused, A. Ramanathan, is the father of the candidate of the UPFA for the Jaffna district, Angajan Ramanathan. The suspect was produced before Magistrate S. Lenin Kumar at the Chawakatcheri Magistrates Court this evening. The magistrate ordered that the suspect be remanded till the 12th of next month.
The hearing of testimony in the case pertaining to the killing of Bharata Lakshman Premachandra was presided over by Colombo Additional Magistrate G.L. Priyantha today. An office assistant to the late Bharata Lakshman Premachandra gave testimony today regarding the incident that occurred on the 8th of October 2011.
In his testimony, Office Assistant UKHC Ranga Amardev said that parliamentarian Duminda Silva had slapped Bharata Lakshman Premachandra at the junction leading to Himbutanana Lane. The witness noted that Premachandra was preparing to return a blow. Duminda Silva had shouted to his companions to shoot, and that subsequently there was a shower of bullets. He said that following the shower of bullets, Bharata Lakshman had fallen on the road and that he and another individual had loaded Bharata Lakshman into an SUV and taken him to Angoda Hospital. The witness added that 3 people who had been travelling with Bharata Lakshman had also been shot, adding that most of the close 200 people accompanying Duminda Silva were armed. He added in his testimony that he had got to know that Dematagoda Chaminda was also those who had arrived to shoot Bharata Lakshman Premachandra. The witness further testified that the majority of Duminda Silva's companies were police officers dressed in civilian attire. The magistrate also issued a warrant today against Duminda Silva and another defendant for arriving late for the hearing. After advising them, the magistrate noted that if they were late in attending the next court hearing, he would not withdraw the warrant. Hearings of the case are to reconvene on the 3rd of September.